And can I show you something? When you miss a devour, did you know that the Kodo goes into a special stun state? This is ridiculous. They're peasants, right? The disrespect I have of this peasant. I think this grunt can kill. No. No. Please.
How the F are you not subscribed to Nick Oldhead? Old school Warcraft caster. One of the best we got. This guy is blasting out content.
Welcome to a Nick Oldhead video. My name is Nick, and we're going to go over some Warcraft 3, but it's not just any Warcraft 3 this time. No. It is my games of Warcraft 3, right? It's the games of Warcraft 3 in which I am laboring and suffering over this very difficult game. Now, Warcraft 3 is always one of my favorite games because it's just so expressive, right? There's so many things you can do. There's so many different ways you can go about the game. And you know, it reminds me of an old trick I used to do when I was a real active esports writer, right? I'd have to write about all sorts of games, all sorts of esports that I didn't necessarily love, right? Sure, it was lucky and you got to write about the ones you loved every once in a while, but most of the time it was just things I've never heard of or things have no interest in. But what I would do is I would play the game myself. If I knew I had to watch some tournament for some game I've never heard of, you play the game yourself, you really try to win, and you feel how hard it is to win, and then you get an appreciation for watching the pros. So that's kind of what I've been doing here, right? We've had some really amazing Warcraft 3 lately. Shoutouts to Back to Warcraft and all the other streamers, right? You're always showing off some of the best the high-level pros can show. And that gives me an opportunity, right, to watch those games all ad nauseum, right? To watch the replays uploaded on WC Replays and see if I can do some of those things myself. So you see here, I'm going for a sell the TP, buy the circlet, creep 1 DPS item blade. I took this straight from Lynn. This is straight from Lynn. Build your Voodoo Lounge there, get the item there, and then you can look. You can even get another item here. Something I've thought was interesting, it's the brutes. The brutes always have good items for the blade, right? So, for example, that's not a brute. That's a warden. You don't want to be killing wardens. You want to be killing these brutes. Where is another brute? Here, right? No, here? Or maybe he already caught. Here it is. This mammoth, it's the same DPS as a brute, right? Level 3 item, 14 to 16. There's the Knoll brutes. There's the ogre warriors. And then there's that creep. They each have the same HP. And I like to solo them and get items on blade. So you see something's happening here on my undead opponent. I'm going to pause here just because we all see I'm coming here, right? My opponent's expansion should already be built right now. Unfortunately, this fast expansion is getting off to a real slow time because you're just spending too much time building acolytes. These 4 acolytes here could have easily been the gold. Should have just been 1 acolyte and upgrading this mine. Now, the thing is, my opponent just doesn't realize that I'm waiting here. And this is just 100% me copying Lynn. When Lynn is up against an undead expansion or just an undead player, he usually gets some DPS items and then he goes for it. So I get gloves, circlet, and claws from my creeping route, and now these 2 grunts who I built to help me creep and eventually help creep my level 2 hero, they're just standing here and doing some damage. So this is actually really good by my opponent. You get the acolytes hiding here, and it's really bad when my blade's doing this. Anytime your blade's not chopping, it's bad. So you literally just have to correct that. You know, because if you just have them click on a target and then the target is dancing back and forth, that's one way you can really start losing. So you need to get out of there when the Nerubian Tower comes in, because the chill. And yeah, it's just a matter of stopping this expansion. We don't want to lose grunts. We decided to trade here on purpose because, hey, my blade has crit level 2 and such good items. That was actually good trading for me because I have the healing salve, no problem. So we're healing, and I mean, if you know Warcraft 3, you know this expansion is not going up. There is like 0 chance this expansion is going up. You know, me, the orc player, I've already scouted it. I already have grunts on their way. I'm already healing, and I have this blade. This blade DPS item represents the ability to just stubbornly auto attack. I even get another circlet after selling the cloak. So, you know, in terms of tempo, in terms of just like momentum, this blade's really, really powerful. And you can just, cancel that. No problem. There's just no chance. Now the 4 grunts are here, and this is a pretty nice opportunity for me to fight, right? Like the Nerubian Tower is doing some damage on my blade, but you know, when are you ever going to find a better use to brawl with 4 grunts than just against some ghouls, right? Grunts get mowed down in the late game. They really get destroyed by high-level heroes, so this is fine by me. saving some death coils to try to save that grunt. But hey, my blade then just gets to get free damage on you. It's too much. GG, right? So that was my first game from coming back after, like, you know, a break. Sometimes when you play Warcraft 3, you take a break for a while. But let's keep going, right? I was in a mood. I just literally kept queuing up. I kept queuing up no matter what. So let's see some of these games. That was my first opponent. It was an undead player, but it was actually random. And it's interesting because I then faced that same opponent, right? The same random opponent, but this time they're going human, right? So you know that's you can always tell when you've come across a like-minded opponent on W3 Champions because you immediately queue right after they queue. And it's like, oh yeah, we just played each other. And you can sometimes play the same opponent over and over again, which I think is fun. Helps you adapt a bit. So now they're playing human though. So let's just look at what I do. I am playing a random opponent. I don't know what they are. So I'm actually going to pull from a build I really love, right? I just saw Lynn do this against Happy in a really great matchup, but it's the mirror image blade on this map especially. Remember I was saying those ogre warriors, like level 3, 14 to 15? It's interesting to think that they have the same items as that mammoth creep on the last map, but the mammoth creep has 450 health. So this ogre is even easier to kill, right? You kill that ogre, and then the next one you want to try to kill is this brute, right? Same HP, but it has an item. You're really going for the agility tome here. That'd be nice, but you get tome of strength. Whatever. Now my human opponent's doing that thing. Nice. It's always good to save the water elemental from your first creep camp, so then you can do the DPS. So good job on that, human. You know, what was the first camp you creeped? Don't know. It's escaping my mind right there. Now this mirror image then gets to scout. Level 2 already by the Archmages. I guess you... What did... Oh yeah, you crept this one. So the Archmages crept both of those forest trolls. That's how it is. I then get to kill this creep, which is another Blade Master item. This is another Blade Master item creep, right? There's these level 3 creeps with 400 HP. That's the ones you want to be sniping off. Thankfully, we have a Headhunter build here that allows you to creep really fast. So I've already scouted my opponent's human at this point, but the Mirror Image Headhunter Blade, it's the least reactive orc playstyle. It's like the greediest orc playstyle, which the orc playstyle that just says, I don't really care what you're doing, right? Because whatever I'm doing is getting a strong blade with good items. And I'm also massing Headhunters. And both of this combination, blade with items and these Headhunters, who are getting upgrades, mind you, actually scale pretty well into the late game because these can be upgraded into Berserkers. They can get Troll a regen at tier 2. And you see I'm getting steel armor, so they have even more armor. Interesting little note about the orc armor upgrades. That armor upgrade is for all units in the orc army, all fighting units. So you don't have separate armor upgrades for aerial and ground units like other races. So orc armor is always pretty good. We are both just elusive. Look at that, so many claws of attack on my human opponent. Now it's actually pretty good for the human because that means usually you get a pretty nice push at level 3. If I were to criticize this game on macro, I think I forget to get a fortification on burrows. Nice movement there. You got to move your Headhunters out of the way. Oh, and now I see the Mountain King. So once I see the Mountain King is threatening my Blade Master, you have to mirror image again. Unfortunately, he gets lucky and he sees that's the right one, so you have to dodge the Storm Ball. It's really important to just kind of keep your finger on the mirror image key. It has a short cooldown. By the way, I'm trying to pick up that Scroll of the Beast, but I kept accidentally hitting that Headhunter, so I ended up having to destroy the Scroll of the Beast so my opponent didn't pick it up instead, right? That would have been lame. So here we are, level 4 Blade. We get to get items, and we're going Tauren Totem Spirit Lodge. This is our late game situation. We're building a grunt here just to kind of help our front line. We saw our opponent had a lot of footmen. And even though we want to heal and we want to get our Blade Master high health, we can't slow down on creeping, alright? We have a level 4 Blade, and we're going the solo Blade Master mirror image style. So the whole strategy relies on having a strong Blade Master. You really cannot stop. Oh, nice. I get the Claws of Attack 8. So it's definitely a nice Blade Master items. even have the healing potion there to help me when I get low HP. You're going to see healing potion into mirror image is useful. I actually used the healing potion just quickly because I needed to defend, and you get full HP mirror images. This is another thing I love to do, spirit walking the illusions. It's actually really clutch versus this stage of the game. Most of the time, the opponent gets to figure out which is your real Blade Master because he takes so much damage. But the Spirit Link really helps with that, right? Helps you share the damage. And my opponent eventually just has to TP out because if you just stay here, the Blade Master will keep chopping. And this is what I love to see, right? Blade Master at full HP, not even close to dying. Use this salve so I can clear up some inventory. And what do? Buy some more damage items. Get that Slippers Up agility. It's an inexpensive item at the marketplace, but really good on Blade. Getting more agility. I get the Berserker upgrade. Remember, those Headhunters scale into the late game, and they're 1/1. So this is like a pretty strong army, I think, for the 9-minute. I think I saw once Hitman was able to get like a level 5 blade in 6 minutes and 40 seconds. That's crazy, right? So here I am just microing these units away, and the Blade Master is just doing his thing, right? You get a Stormbolt there, but look at the Spirit Link. It does, you use the healing potion and then you use the mirror image again. A Spirit Link just really helped there, and now I see I'm just focusing on the Mountain King. Every time I see that he's found the correct one, you just have to mirror image, right? You need to be aware of when your Blade Master is taking damage. You have tons of mana, so don't be afraid about spamming mirror image. The part of sparing mirror image is to confuse the opponent every time they are attacking the right one. And by the way, good on my opponent here for the base build. I've been microing units back thanks to... Oh, I wish I had troll regen there. Lack of troll regen probably causes both of those trolls to die. Haven't finished the upgrade yet, too. Would have loved to get troll regen. But yeah, this was good by my opponent. Saved a lot of these units. And look, I'm trying to just bully it here, but unfortunately the real blade was like the first one. I have to be like careful here. Don't lose your blade. That's like ridiculous. So just manually micro them out of the situation, and I'm out. High level Blade Master doing the things. And now some of these units that I've rallied safely to my shop. We saved a Spirit Walker. That's good. By the way, upgraded to Adept. I don't think I used Disenchant once. Yikes. Though we do have some upside. Healing Ward is finished. Orcs have to remember. Spirit Lodge and the Witch Doctor were buffed. Not only is it faster to get Master, but every time you build a Witch Doctor, they start with 150 mana. So you can use a healing really quick. Because of that, I'm able to save money on healing salves. I buy one healing salve to heal it, and then I sell it, buy an Orb of Lightning. So I'm really just trying to maximize this strength at the level 5 Blade Master. And I like just how I'm just constantly pushing. I'm eventually going to get my human opponent food stuck, which is a nice aspect of pushing. But this is also where I need to get better at Witch Doctors. There should be a stasis ward here, right? But because I don't have that stasis ward here, my fragile, ooh, so dead. My casters die quick. Thankfully, I see that, oh god, you're killing my Witch Doctor, so I'm able to spam some of the wards now. I believe I get a stasis ward, but he eventually kills it, yeah. Mirror Image is in a great place right now. You would seem to be protected. Now look, that Dispel would normally get rid of the healing award, but it doesn't. Shoutouts to that buff. These Taurens with 1 armor upgrade doing a lot. These Witch Doctors out of mana, so they're kind of like out of the fight. But I mean, I have a level 6 Blade Master. It's kind of GG off that alone, right? The Blade Master just has this capacity to carry the game. It's like Demon Hunter, and even though my units are few and far between, I mean, I have a Blade Master. It just does so much damage. It's already killed your Mountain King. It's already killed your Archmage. And now, how much Blade Storm mana? How much mana is Blade Storm? Do we know? It's 200, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm sitting there fighting, thinking, oh god, do I spend my money on another Mirror Image or another on Blade Storm? So we use the Blade Storm. Isn't that fun? What a great way to end a solo Blade Master game. Chopperoo. Yeah. What's my peon doing here? Oh no, look, I saved a Tauren. It's just hiding in the shadows. Alright, GG. So nice. I'm breaking my rusty streak, right? I'm trying to like break the rustiness here, and I'm trying to just play some solid Warcraft 3. But you know, as it usually happens in this game. You know, you up against some relatively easy ones, then they throw you a hard one. Let me get a drink of water. And by drink of water, I mean an orange soda. Why not? Treat myself. Let's see how this game goes. So, I'm against an undead opponent. And this undead opponent is definitely, you know, this is just an interesting game. I remember when I played this game, it being very frustrating, the way it turned out, right? I remember this fight at the end of the game just going very poorly for me. So we're going to breeze through this because, to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, I may have already talked about this game, and then the audio of that recording was so corrupted, it was so sad. I just got to see myself talking to no one. So we have a little bit of a creep jack here. Thankfully, I got the scouting, and I was able to be sneaky and use a second wind walk. So I get the steal here. Hooray! But you get the item. He gets the Ring of Superiority. Not bad. But I decided to just keep trading here because I have salves. It's no problem. No skin off my back at all. Put the Death Knight down to a low level, and here the grunts come in. These grunts are originally there to help me creep. But now, when I get the salve and the clarity, I can wind walk back because these skeletons don't know what to chase now. And this whole time this is happening, this grunt, like a linebacker, is like, alright, well, I guess I gotta keep on chasing the Death Knight because, yeah, I figured this is gonna happen. And it does. You die. So, man, how do I, as an orc player, like, what should I have done? Maybe I should have just started killing acolytes. Right? Like, do I just start killing acolytes? No, I decide to keep creeping. And I just get a little tiny camp, eventually get this camp. Looking back on it, I'm not sure if this is the play. I think I should have just expanded. I think I should have killed these giant sea turtles, got ready for a tier 2 expansion. But instead, no, I'm not. I have the wood for the expansion too. I just built too many grunts. I should have built 3 grunts, not 4. 3 grunts, not 4. I have enough for an expansion right now. I think I should just be fighting him. I have a strong blade. Waste his time. But I get a little tricky hide right there with the Cloak of Shadows. My opponent still doesn't see me. That was fun. I remember in this moment I said, okay, I'll try to get a creep jack. But I think my opponent was ready with the Dust of Appearance here. Look, do you ever see me? I wonder how it works, because I'm using Cloak of Shadow. Yep, and then I win walk, he sees me. That's unfortunate. So, looks like if you use wind walk while hiding, you still get revealed. So I'm thinking I'm slick, because I'm creeping my Shadow Hunter while I'm stopping this, or at least denying it, you know, but it's not really that slick. I'm just kind of wasting my time and getting a low HP Blade Master, which, oh man, look at this. All of that, this Blade Master could have just been helping me creep. And because of this, I have really suboptimal creeping here, low HP Blade. The reason I'm being very critical is because I killed their hero and I was 1 level up. I feel as if that should be an advantage, but Warcraft 3 is like this. Warcraft 3, you can be winning, and then that allows you to like kind of ease up, and then before you know it, your opponent, who was lizzing and feeling the stress, they ramp it up, and then all of a sudden they start getting an advantage over you. It's one of like the most despicable things about this game, you know. Winning is not won. Just because you're winning doesn't mean you've won. So here I am, creeping a Shadow to 3, thinking that this is good. Thinking that, like, okay, this is a Kodo illusion. Was trying to scout there. Looking back on it, don't think using that Kodo illusion was very effective. Should have just been scouting with the blade. Let's go back to my vision, see what I'm trying to do here. Yeah, I'm just trying to scout my opponent. And this is just too many grunts. Looking back on this, seeing this many grunts upsets me. Because it's like, why wasn't I building headhunters? You know, a lot of these grunts should have been headhunters and Kodos. Because you kind of need piercing damage versus the undead. You need piercing damage for the undead because they can always go flying units. They can always... And a lot of my thinking this game is I'm like, okay, I have an early advantage. Just keep that advantage. Keep that advantage. This is a way too late expansion. And I haven't teched to tier 3. So I'm playing a tier 2 game just way too slowly. And guys, the reason this matters is because, like, look what happens. Not aware of the map. Scouting doesn't go wrong. My opponent has 2 frost worms. What? Dang it, right? Like, this is how you lose a game of Warcraft 3 that you're otherwise ahead of. I also don't like my decision to walk back here. I have all these scrolls. I figure I'm going to win a good fight. But no, the only way this works is if I TP on top of him. The only way this works is if I TP on top of him. Going into the fight like this, very bad. Walker gets killed immediately. Blade Master way too far ahead. These grunts doing nothing. Don't get a Devourer on this A-bomb. And can I show you something? When you miss a Devourer, did you know that the Kodo goes into a special stun state? You see how this Kodo's attacking because it's like I'm anti-air? Yeah, this Kodo is not attacking. It's just drumming. That's because I missed the Devourer. I'm getting punished for my lack of micro there, you see? Very unfortunate. Still not attacking. Even though this one Frostworm's hexed, these Kodos and these a Shadow Hunter should have been doing damage on that one. But now your Shadow dies. I mean, my Blade dies, and I have Potion of Greater Healing. Still haven't devoured. Finally, I devour like a half HP. Just real bad, right? I had the healing. I had the items. Just mismanaged the fight. My opponent literally didn't move. Just sat there and let Frostworms destroy everything. The rest of this game is history. Yeah, just fast forward. I have this expansion, but it's not worth it. So you see, this fight really just lost me the game. Way too many grunts. Not enough tier 2 superiority. I should have had double bestiary. GG. Should have had double bestiary, and I should have had that expansion way earlier. But now we know, right? Now we know. Undead tier 2, that's what we're going to try to do. Yeah, let's keep it going. We have one more game. And then we're going to, after that game, maybe go into some Orc versus Orc. But this is against human. Human. And the spirit of these games, ladies and gentlemen, and if you look at the YouTube demographics, it really is more like lady and gentlemen's. I believe my demographics is 99% male and 0.1% female. That's a real YouTube statistic they showed me, guys. So when I say guys, yeah, I know I'm just talking to a bunch of guys. I mean, come on, we're playing Warcraft 3. It's a pretty old game, right? Games in the West were marketed as a boy's toy, so it makes sense anyone born in the 90s is kind of predestined to have a liking of PC games. And this was a pretty big PC game. So welcome, boomers, as we watch me play Warcraft 3. I've been seeing a lot of Orc versus Undead, right? And let's just say I'm inspired by how you can go Farseer into TC and also Blade Master into air. So versus human, I was kind of relieved to have that choice made for me. Versus human, you can just go Farseer. It wasn't a random player, it was a human player. So look at what happens. This is a small moment that's a big deal. What's my opponent going to Stormbolt? You see, the moment I see the Grunt Stormbolt, we turn. And what do? Focus on the Mountain King. Because once the Mountain King decides to not Stormbolt your hero, well, great, I'm going to focus your hero. I'm going to unload Chain Lightning on your hero. And just all of this damage, I try to get the deny there, but I miss it by 6 HP. RIP. But all that damage that I just unloaded into the Mountain King immediately changed the tide of the game, the tide of the match, and now, alright, I have a game plan. Let's bully the Mountain King with low HP, because if you haven't built your shop yet, you don't have a mercenary on this map that you can get the healing from. So here we are. We're going to stay outside your base, and I'm just going to annoy you. Put in some wolves here, getting that nice claws of attack, gloves of haste, damage on the Mountain King. See, just trying to hit him. These wolves are really suicidal, but now we're in the best position we could be right now. We're just killing peasants. Yes, kill peasants. My Farseer is attacking pretty quick too, because the gloves. This felt good. I mean, right? This is why you play Warcraft 3. Just the steady dopamine of creeping your opponent's peasants. Feels nice. This grunt gets to walk away because that's what grunts can do. In the early game, they can just run away most of the times, right? They don't have catch, don't have anything. It's a Pretty nice unit for that. Now there's a little drama going on, by the way. These militia chasing this grunt to the end of the earth, right? Like, good for you, militia. These two, good base build by my opponent. You know, the full wall off really helped. And I see these militia. I know the militia are going to turn back in to peasants. So look at this. This is ridiculous. They're peasants, right? The disrespect I have of this peasant. I think this grunt can kill. No. No. Please. Peasants. No. And the peasant is going to indeed. Look at this. Mountain King all the way at base. Gets all that experience because the peasants kill the Mountain King. How horrible. How horrible. So, good on my opponent for just sticking on that grunt. I mean, but you do kill. You don't have 2 peasants lost because of it. So, I give you 60 experience. Well, I took back around 60 experience as well. So, oh well, I guess that was an even trade. I get the Dark Ranger just because, like, looking back on that, I like life drain in these situations because my opponent has Mountain King and I feel as if they're really just trying to kill my heroes. So for the hero that I chose from the tavern to just kind of end this game quick, it's Dark Ranger. Now, looking back on it, I think Panda would have been fine. Like, I mean, you could have gone Beastmaster, newly buffed Beastmaster with a Quill Beast. That's actually pretty good. But no, I decided to go Dark Ranger because I know I've done so much damage to my opponent. I'm not trying to play late game. I'm not trying to do any of that. I'm trying to, like, just push, push, push. We see it works out here. Both the Dark Ranger and the Farseer are able to just get pretty good DPS. Now, level 2 Stormbolt does do damage, and you also have Holy Light, so you could be doing that. Not the best drain life, right? You want to run away and then drain life, but you have a level 2 Stormbolt, so Jaw Ranger's dead, Dark Ranger's gone. But is it really that big of a deal? No. Farseer's my main hero. Farseer's going to get level 3. When I do, I have the Mana Pot. Mana Pot there is definitely on purpose because you know you're going to get level 3. So these level 2 wolves are like big deal, right? They do way more damage than his footmen, do way more damage than my grunt because of the fast attack speed and uncritical strike. And they can also do this. Micro Trick. Orcs, we love it, right? Just send some units on the hero, especially the wolf. Now, the grunt probably could have got back, but I love sending one wolf on a low HP hero. This is good. When you can, like, strand a hero to just be running away, because now I can just, I'm focusing here. Looking back on it, should I be focusing this blacksmith? No, I should be killing the militia. But there I was, focusing the blacksmith. Now that the heroes are back, I'm feeling pretty good, right? You just chain lightning that. Yeah, mana potion, chain lightning. And Wyverns, Wind Riders, you know, the old school Wyverns way. I always loved Grunt into Wind Rider versus Mountain King, because the Mountain King doesn't have water elementals. See, this is why I like the Dark Ranger. Sometimes you go Naga and you go Fire Lord and you can have this, like, fragility. But I like Life Drain, provides a little bit of stability there. So, you know, those were some of my first games coming back from a hiatus, right? I love to play this game, especially after watching the pros play. You watch the pros for so much, and it can look so easy, they can look so effortless, but trying this game yourself is hard. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed that, and let's start some more videos, right? Let's start the next one. Peace.